This podcast is brought to you in part by Russell Lands, Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Dr. Thomas Dudney, and the Green Monster Fishing Light. Now, back to Bubba on the Lake.
B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake. In the mellow yellow studio, putting on a show. Betty say, what? She always on the go. We got Hunter Bus sitting at master control. Don't wanna miss a moment, cause Bubba's got the flow. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey.
Hello again, friends, neighbors, and associates everywhere. Welcome to another edition of Bubba on the Lake. I'm your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly of the Rick and Bubba Show, and now your host right here for Bubba on the Lake, a.k.a. The People's Podcast. We're broadcasting from the Meliella studio. Our website is bubbaonthelake.com. A lot of great information there. Several of you have emailed and asked about the kids, what they're doing with Caitlin's new segment that she's doing on a podcast and Hunter's podcast he's doing for the barn. All that information should be up there now, and you can get it right there, just clicks away. We try to keep that updated with information. It's not overly fancy. It's just kind of straightforward, and that's the way I like it, just so you can find the information you need and use it however you would see fit. And, of course, we have the comment line, 308 Big Lake. Don't forget to turn on subscriptions, notifications. We don't want you to miss anything from the show. You know, I'm still just amazed at the number of people I run into, and they're like, "Hey, Bubba, how do I get the podcast?" And I'm like, "Seriously, are we there? Are we still there?" I know it's mostly my age people. I got that. But if you, most of the phones now, the iPhone, or if you're on one of the other ones, they have a podcast app. You just go to that, do a search for Bubba on the Lake, and when you find it, go ahead and subscribe or follow or whatever the terminology that they use. And then when a new podcast publishes, it will go right to your phone. And if you have CarPlay or whatever you use in your vehicle, it'll go right through the speakers. So it's just like automatic. I mean, it's too easy. If you'll just do that subscription or follow or whatever your particular app asks you to do for Bubba on the Lake. We always tell everybody it's Bubba on the Lake, and we do deal with lake and water issues, but that's not the whole thing. It's kind of a umbrella concept for what we're doing, and we cover and talk about a whole lot of other things, and we have some really big plans this summer. It's just now getting warm enough to get out on the water. I do not like riding a boat with a coat or a jacket. That's not my idea of a great time on the water. But it has warmed up this week, and we're bumping up in the 90s here where I live. So it's a really, really good time to get out and get on the water. And we're going to have a lot of fun with that. We have some surprises coming up I think you're going to like, if we can pull it off and get it done. And we certainly have a great show today, folks. It is a Memorial Day special. Colonel Jason Benefield will be back. He's going to give us a quick update on the Iran conflict and talk a little bit about Memorial Day. You know, it's when you really think about what some people have done so that me and you can be here having this conversation, it's mind-blowing. It's just mind-blowing that people have given their life so that we can have the freedom we have. And we'll celebrate that this weekend. You know, we do get out. We go to ball games. We eat. We cook out. We make homemade ice cream. But I would encourage you this weekend just to take just a second and pray for those Gold Star families who have lost loved ones, and for those people too. And they have given the ultimate gift for all of us to be able to enjoy the freedom we have. And We will say this later in the podcast too, as we've said on the radio show for many, many years. Freedom is never purchased. It's a lease. It has to be renewed with each generation, the blood of young men and women. And I'm just thankful. I am thankful there are people who are made that way, who are willing to give of themselves to give us the freedom that we have today. A lot going on here around the lake on Memorial Day weekend, as you can imagine. I told you the Russell Lands folks, they have Friday on the Green. This week, they have a big art show going on, and let me tell you, people will come from far and wide for that baby. Betty is a standard feature there. She goes and, we're going to get something new to hang on the wall, I have no doubt. So if you're in the area of what they call Country Crossroads here at Russell Lands, you need to come out and check that out. And all of the events that Russell sponsors is available. You need to go to the russelllands.com website. They also have a great app, easy to follow. You can find all the information you need to know about what they're doing here at the lake. All right, folks, I want to get right into it because we got a busy show. Colonel Jason Benefield is going to be here, give us an update on Iran and the Memorial Day. Stuart, the tech guy, is going to be here. Hunter is checking in, and don't tune out too quick. We have a major announcement at the end of the podcast. So it's something that it's kind of funny how it happened. But anyway, you'll have to tune in to get that. So without further ado, we will take a quick break, and we will be back with this edition of Bubba on the Lake.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Since 1965, Bice Motors has been Lake Martin area's home for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram sales and service. For 60 years, families have trusted Bice Motors in Alexander City for honest deals, friendly service, and the best selection around. Our team of certified technicians services most all makes and models. Plus, we've got a tire center, parts department, and a full collision center to keep you rolling. Bice Motors, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer since 1965. In Alex City or online at bicemotors.com.
Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Dr. Dudney has been my dentist for about 20 years. He does a great job taking care of my teeth, making sure my cavities are good, cleaning my teeth, and also adding veneers to my smile, which was a game changer. Now, Dr. Dudney and his friendly staff can do the same for you. I ask you to give them a chance. Just talk to them, no cost. Just make an appointment, see what you need, see if you can have a better smile and feel better about yourself today. Give them a call at 205-663-6545 or tedudney.com. We are back, and joining us again, Colonel Jason Benefield, retired U.S. Army. Colonel, welcome back to Bubba on the Lake.
Thank you, Bubba. I'm proud to be here.
Well, quickly, I get asked a lot, what's going on with Iran? We've been in a extended ceasefire, so to speak. I think one of the problems is Trump's having trouble finding somebody to negotiate with because the leadership is a little squirrely over there. But give us your thoughts on where we are and what are we going to see next with this, because as this extends, it's causing prices on the oil market to stay up, which is causing all of inflation to stay up, which is going to eventually politically hurt the president and his party here at home. When it's over, I think it's going to be beautiful. It'll all fall and get back into place and be better than it ever was. And his visit to China, how does that play in?
Well, I think the president's being extremely patient with Iran, giving them every opportunity to avoid further destruction and further attacks. But they are willing to let their people suffer. They're willing to suffer economically. And they use the ceasefire to try and reset the battlefield in their favor. He realizes that. His visit to China and the other things he's doing around the globe have continued to try and set the conditions to put additional pressure on them. But they are a hard people to deal with because they're not trustworthy, especially difficult when you're not sure who is in charge.
Yeah, I think I feel like that we probably will see hostilities come back into play before it's all over, don't you?
I agree. I think it will have to go kinetic at least one more time before it all gets resolved because the economic pressure is already maxed out and they do not seem to be reacting to the suffering of their people at all.
So do you think, I know a lot of people think, hey, while we're giving them a ceasefire, they're just reloading. They're just loading everything back up again. And do we, in a strange kind of way, allow them to do that so we can see where they're getting it from and where they're putting it at, and then we know where to go after it again?
You are correct. They are not trustworthy. They are trying to reset the battlefield and rearm. But we are gathering intelligence while they're doing that. Just as you said, we can see what they're doing. So our target sets are getting very dialed in as they're doing that. So when we do go kinetic, we will have targets ready to go, and the attacks will be very effective.
Colonel, while I have you here, Memorial Day weekend is coming up. You know, to a lot of people, it's a long weekend. You go to the lake, you go to the Gulf, you barbecue, you cook out, you make homemade ice cream, and all that's great. That's what we do here in America. But it really means a whole lot more, and a lot of times I'm afraid we forget exactly the price that this holiday affords us.
Well, I agree, Bubba. Memorial Day is very important to those of us who have served and have lost comrades over the years. It started out as a tradition after the Civil War on both sides where folks would go and decorate the graves of those who had passed during the war. So it became an official holiday. In 1971, it became the last Monday in May as a repetitive holiday, an annual holiday. And it now honors all those military service members who passed away in wartime or peacetime. But we still recognize the surviving family members of those lost in wars, our Gold Star families, Bubba, and I believe those are our true royalty in this country. And we have many in this area. We have McClellan National Cemetery here, and in that cemetery, one of the KIA buried there is from Weaver, Alabama. His name is Specialist James Johnson. And his family keeps his memory alive. He died in Vietnam February 23rd, 1971 in a rocket attack in Tu Thien province while deployed with the 101st Airborne Division. But he has an online memorial, and I can tell you he is remembered by Kelly Glass as her favorite uncle still to this day. He's buried at Liberty Baptist Church Cemetery in Weaver. And there are many others in our area, Bubba. At our school, Jacksonville State University, the ROTC program has lost 9 officers who were killed in action over the years. I want to make mention of each of them quickly. First Lieutenant George William Lott was class of 1950. He was from Crane Hill community in Coleman County. He was reported missing in February 13, 1951 near Hong Song, South Korea. And he ended up dying in a North Korean POW camp on August 31st, 1951. And moving on to the Vietnam conflict, Captain Jerry Wayne McNabb, class of 1959, was from Gadsden. He was survived by his wife Ann and 3 children. He was a helicopter pilot, a Rotary Wing Company commander, and was killed in a helicopter crash on June 27, 1966. At Tu Hoi Air Base in South Vietnam. So the next plaque that hangs on the wall in Roll Hall in memory of our KIA is Captain Donald Franklin McMillan, who was commissioned in 1961. He was actually from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which is the hometown of Fort Campbell, Kentucky, in the 101st Airborne Division. His widow was Tony Stain McMillan. He was killed in action on April 2nd, 1966 in Pleiku Province, South Vietnam. Captain Edward Davis Pierce was commissioned 1962 from Homewood, Alabama. He served as a tactical intelligence staff officer in South Vietnam, a job I once held. He was killed in action March 13, 1966 in Long Con Province, South Vietnam, when his 01 Bird Dog aircraft was shot down near Zun Loc, Vietnam. He was awarded a Bronze Star Medal for Valor and a Purple Heart. Captain Richard Charles Miller, commissioned 1965. He was from your hometown, Bubba, from Jacksonville. He was a Ranger Qualified Infantry Company commander, killed in action on September 3rd, 1969 in Quang Nam Province, South Vietnam, earned the Silver Star and the Bronze Star. Captain Monkey Davis, Charles Monkey Davis, commissioned September 2nd, 1966 from Tallahassee, Alabama. He was a standout football player at JSU, went on to serve as a tank unit commander. He was killed in action on October 6, 1967 in Dien Tong Province, South Vietnam. He was awarded the Bronze Star and Purple Heart. Moving to the global war on terror, Captain Donnie Ray Belzer, commissioned in 2001. He was from Anniston, Alabama. He was survived by his daughter Morgan and his son Miles. He was a member of the 524 transition team from the 1st Infantry Division. He was killed in action February 10, 2007 in Bakuba, Iraq, north of Baghdad. And then Captain Kyle Comfort, commissioned in 2006 as a criminal justice major. He was from your hometown as well, Bubba, from Jacksonville, Alabama. He served as the fire support officer, Company D, in the 3rd Battalion of the Elite 75th Ranger Regiment. He previously had served in Iraq with the 101st Airborne Division 2007 and 8. He was killed in action May 8, 2010 in Helmand Province by an improvised explosive device. And one KIA, I'm going to talk about a little out of order from Vietnam. First Lieutenant Grady McBride, commissioned June 21st, 1968. He was from Gadsden. He was from a military family and had an appointment to West Point, but he failed his physical. So he petitioned the Army for a waiver and began his career through Jack State ROTC. He was a petroleum product supply officer. He was the XO, the executive officer for the 514th Quartermaster Battalion. He was killed in an enemy attack on a fuel farm June 5th, 1970 in the Bien Dinh province of Vietnam. He had a daughter named Rachel, and Grady never met Rachel, but she keeps his memory alive to this day. He wrote her a letter after she was born. The day after she was born, when he was notified, he sat down and wrote her a letter. And with her permission, I want to share that letter so people can understand the perspective of the Gold Star families and the degree of the loss. So this is 19 March 1970. My darling daughter, I am writing this letter to you after getting a phone call from the Red Cross telling me of your wonderful birth. I prayed to God that our first child be a daughter, and he blessed your mother and I with you, my precious. I am now far away from you and your mother. I want so badly to see you both, to kiss your mother so sweetly for all her love and kindness, and to hold my little girl in my arms. I want your mother to save this letter for you. I want you to know that I am overwhelmed with a joy beyond words. I am a father, and both wife and baby are fine, one of the truly great joys of mankind. I promise you that I will try my best to be a good father to you, to love you with all my heart, to always be fair but also be firm, to be willing to always listen to what you have to say, and to guide you in a rightful path. Always know that your mother and I love you very much, and that I would die for you without question. More than that, I want to live for you, to provide for you, and to love you, and to take care of you the best I can. May the angels always watch over your mother and you, our precious daughter. Signed, your loving father from the Cha Rang Valley, South Vietnam. So, Bubba, I think that captures really the impact it has on these families. None of these KIAs that I mentioned lived to the age of 30 years of age, but they made a huge impact in their years here with us.
Colonel, how long from the time she was born did he lose his life in action?
It was about 3 months. Her birthday is March 18th, and he died on June 5th.
Wow.
So it was just a few months. So
But he got a
she
letter to her.
he got a letter to her, and she posts
That's
that
awesome.
letter every year on her birthday. So, Bubba, I deployed to combat 6 times, and when I was on my first deployment, on our way home, my buddy Mike Wisniewski pulled me aside on the way home. He said, Jason, there's a good chance your son is not going to recognize you because you've been gone most of his life. Right. He was an infant. So this happened to Mike, and he was trying to prepare me. So when I got home, it made me realize that my worst fear was not death. It was my family forgetting me if I died when my children were young. So I wrote before each deployment, each of my children a letter the way Grady wrote to Rachel. So luckily, I was able to deliver and read my letters to my children, but Grady was not able to do that. The letter that he wrote when she was born, her mother read to her. But and to complete the story there, my son did remember me, and he lunged into my arms like a medicine ball with arms. And so it was a bit of a happy ending there, but it did drive home to me the fact that there were things worse than death, and I wanted to be sure I was remembered. Larry Bogus, 25 years ago, he and I were company commanders in the Geronimos together at Fort Polk. Only for a few months, but we became big buddies right off the bat. When we left the Geronimos, Larry returned to Fort Bragg in the 82nd Airborne Division. His wife, Wesley, and he were graduates of Appalachian State. They had 2 daughters, Ryan and Ellie. They were an all-American family and very obsessed with golfing, just great people. Everybody knows them, loves them. 19 years and a few days ago, he was killed in action. Army Major Larry J. Bogus died May 14, 2007, serving during Operation Enduring Freedom. He was deployed with the famous Fury Brigade of the 82nd Airborne Division near the Afghan-Pakistan border. During a meeting between the Pakis and the Afghans and Larry's men to do security coordination, one of the Afghan security guards opened fire on Larry's men. Larry put himself between his men and the gunman. He lost his life for it. So I like to always keep in the context of that story, John 15:13, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And Larry did that. He lived a life worth remembering. But when he died, his children were only 4 and 6, and his wife was only 36 with her whole life in front of her. So people would wonder, would his children even remember him? Wesley moved on. She did remarry, but she kept his memory alive with the daughters, and she celebrates his life and legacy, and he will never be forgotten. She became very involved in Folds of Honor. You may have even seen her in their promotions. And with her permission, I wanted to share her Facebook post from 2023. That was one of the years where Mother's Day and the anniversary of his death fell on the same day. So her post went 16 years. 16. Today is going to be a strange day, a day when Mother's Day and 14 May intersect. That strange blend of happiness and sadness we've endured for 16 years is fully on display today. Mamas, we love you. Larry, we love you and miss you terribly. I know this for sure. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. That's 1 Corinthians 13:7. Larry, we will see you on the high ground. Until then, we drive on. And Bubba, I think that's a beautiful tribute to a father lost way too soon. G.K. Chesterton said that courage is a contradiction in terms. It means a strong desire to live, taking the form of a readiness to die, and Larry Bogus really embodied that. So there's some lives worth remembering on Memorial Day, and I hope everybody can understand what it means to those of us who lost comrades and family members.
Colonel, thank you for sharing that, because it's easy to say Memorial Day, and it's easy to say for people who lost their lives, but they actually have names, they have families, they have kids, they have, wives, and that really puts a face on it. And I appreciate you sharing that. And as you mentioned, I love the Bible verse because that says so much on so many levels. And I know there's been a movement in this country that Gold Star families, the immediate families, should not pay income tax because they've already paid the ultimate price. And I hope at some point in time we get that passed and done. that those families don't have to do that as a way of saying thank you for already sacrificing one of your own flesh and blood for our country. But I hope everybody remembers, while we're out having fun and while we're having a good time, that this freedom that we're enjoying was purchased with a price. And we've said for many, many years, the price of freedom is never paid. It's a lease. It has to be renewed again and again and again with the blood of the young men and women of our country. So I hope that people will remember that. Maybe include them in your prayer over the meal this weekend and keep them on your heart through the whole weekend.
Yes, sir. And that's the two things I'd ask. Remember the Gold Star families and what they sacrificed. And second, I love what Captain Miller spoke to Private Ryan in the movie Saving Private Ryan, saying, earn this. Freedom, as you said, it isn't free, so make the most of it. Build families, love your families, build your communities, and remember their sacrifice when you go vote, so their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren are free too.
Colonel Jason Benefield, thank you very much. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you, sir, and your family. And we're going to remember Memorial Day with our family, too. Thank you for being with us on Bubba on the Lake.
Thank you, Bubba.
Where's Bubba?
I'll tell you where. He's on the lake.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Grab a latte at Brew 63, linger over lunch at Fanny's, or take in a Lake Martin sunset at Kalijah Restaurant. Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Just got that new boat? Let Sunrise Docks protect your investment with Swift Shield boat covers, Neptune boat lifts, and easy ports for your personal watercraft. Plus, they have composite decking that stays cool, designed with your feet in mind. Sunrise Docks is always first in quality, first in service, and first in customer satisfaction. Right off Highway 63, your Lake Martin headquarters, with 2 barges and the most experienced boat lift crew on the lake. Sunrise Docks is your lake life expert. Call 256-392-5200.
At Central State Bank, we believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
Well, he's back. He's in popular demand. Stuart the Tech Guy, the Titan of Tech. Stuart, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Bubba. It's good to see you.
I know you've been very busy.
Well, today with your stuff.
I know. Glad to have you in the house today. I had some things that need straightening out.
We did, and we got the internet down at your boat dock ripping fast.
Oh, 1 gig.
A gig
at the boat dock.
Over the air. A gig over the air.
Oh, that is smoking.
Yep. So we're gonna have to get AT&T to speed us up to see what it can really do.
I know. It's just faster, more and more, isn't it?
So I wonder when y'all get out on the lake, take the boat, way out there, see how far it really goes.
We can get it. I remember the days that we were so excited to get 56K. Isn't that funny?
Oh, the 1 meg. That was what I remember.
The 1 meg.
When it went 1 meg. Yep. Oh yeah, the T1. You got your T1. You're in there.
So, Stuart, you're with Surge Technologies in Birmingham, and we're always glad to have you on the show. You're probably best known for going to pick up a Cybertruck that we documented here on the show. Do you still, let's get old business first, do you still like it?
Oh, I love it. Drive it every day. It's especially nowadays. We were just talking before we went on the air. The gas prices are making me very happy to own that right now.
Stuart, I feel like an idiot because I was there. You saw me. I had the check on the desk.
You had it right there.
I had the pen in my hand and I bailed out.
Yep, you did.
And the last time I filled up my diesel truck, it was already about half full, and it was $160. And I thought, I'm an idiot. I'm a moron.
Yep. My truck costs about $17 to fill up.
Some of y'all quit screaming. You sure are, Bubba. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep,
so you were tell us at this point, because you've driven it now for a while.
Yep, 4,500 miles so far.
What is the best thing about it, the pro, and what is the con?
The best thing about it is kind of split. It depends on whether you're self-driving or manually driving.
Right.
So if you're self-driving, the best thing is that you can just sit back and relax. And 280 traffic is now just a chill session instead of constantly having to fight through it.
Right.
The best thing when you're manually driving is how fun it is. It is you drove it. The steering, it makes the whole thing. It's the digital, all steer by wire. It steers and handles like a sports car. And if I've never owned a car where some guy in a straight piped Mustang pulls up next to you where now if I want to I can dust them if I want to, and that's fun. That is fun. But the negative, I think, if I could pinpoint it, is I was complaining a little bit about it earlier when I got here today. It's I guess what comes with any tech thing, which at the end of the day, you're driving a computer. That's what it is. Right. And software is your biggest annoyance. The current software, which is version, as of this recording, 14.3.2, I'm going to be honest, it frankly sucks.
Now, why do you say that? What do you don't like about it?
So I really liked the version that came before it, that I had before. Version 14.225 was extremely good. It was very refined. It's what you got to experience. Yeah. And they, like any new update, that they try to add a bunch of stuff, and they did. They enhanced parking and this avoidance and this logic and all these things. Right. With improvements come rough edges, and there's a lot of them to be had. It's had some issues, and it's not just me figuring this out. There's people talking about it. It's been widely reported of version 14.3.2 having a number of these issues where it will be very hesitant at certain intersections. It won't want to turn into traffic. It's almost like it's scared in some instances. Right. I've had it where it will just, if I'll hit start and it won't put itself in drive. It'll just kind of sit there for a minute before it decides it's safe to go. Right. It's just like, for some reason with the new update, they've made it too apprehensive, and they need to crank up the confidence on the AI, which is quite literally a thing they can do by adjusting the parameters. The good news is last night they actually released 14.3.3, which addresses all this, but it's not come to my truck yet. So I'll report back when I have that.
So is that scary? Do you think a lot of people who are into the privacy thing, they're concerned that somebody else is controlling their vehicle? And they do monitor you. They watch you inside. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, what if you're doing maybe I don't want to say illegal activity, or maybe inappropriate activity for the road? I mean, what do people feel about that? Not that you should be doing that on the road, but what the heck?
You can't really. So I guess for those who don't know, the internal cabin camera does monitor the inside of the vehicle. But it does not transmit that information out to Tesla unless there is an incident that requires it.
Right.
They could at any point pull that data should they choose to, but it doesn't by default. The driving data that gets uploaded to Tesla servers is external video data, not internal video data. But it does record the inside of the cabin. Is that a privacy violation? That depends on the person. I guarantee whoever's listening to this podcast right now is carrying around a little magic slate in their pocket that is doing exactly that same thing already. Right. So you don't really have any ground to stand on unless you're still carrying around a Nokia flip phone.
If you don't think that's the case, just for fun, tell somebody that you're thinking about getting a beagle puppy.
Yes.
And see how many ads you get for beagle puppies.
Within hours.
Yeah, it'll cover you up with it. So everything comes with pros and cons, but still overall very pro.
Best vehicle that exists. Right. I'm pretty convinced. It's not to say it doesn't do everything perfectly. Right. If you're a long haul, towing person, you'd want a truck like what you've got, right? Because you can go probably 500-600 miles on a full set of gas. We have dual tanks in yours?
No, just normal.
Just the single.
It's probably, I think about 475.
Right. So a long distance you can make it. Mine, 250, 300, depending on how much I charge it.
The weather today is pretty warm.
Yes,
it's going to be our first 90 degree.
Great for the truck.
Degree day. How the air conditioner, does that draw more battery? Does that kill some of your your power, or does the heat in the winter?
It is a heat pump that they use in the truck, so it's very efficient. The AC uses almost no power overall. In fact, if you go into your energy, there's an app, and it tells you exactly how much your AC has consumed over your trip. And out of it cost me 27% or 26%, somewhere around there, to get here today from home, and less than 1% was the AC. I checked it when I got here. But electric cars in general love hot weather. They really like it because the batteries run best when they're warm.
Right.
So in the wintertime, we'll see how it's going to be. But typically you lose, 20 to 30% of your overall range in the winter.
Right. So what else is going on in tech that everybody needs to know about?
Well, before we jump off of the Tesla topic, I will bring this up. So Tesla has discontinued their most iconic vehicles, which is the Model S and Model X. It's kind of a pretty big deal because it was the Model S and Model X that really put EVs
on the map.
It made them cool.
Right.
Because prior to that, you had like the Prius and you had the early Chevy Volt.
And the X had the Falcon doors that go up. I mean, it was very distinctive when you saw, and it's a little wider car. It's a very sporty looking car.
It's a sporty SUV. And of course, they're both, the plaid versions of those cars, the ludicrous versions of those cars were just fast as lightning.
Right.
And it took electric cars. I commented on this when it happened. It took the EV from being kind of a nerdy, hard to use alternative vehicle to something that was luxurious and cool to own. And without the S and X, we wouldn't be where we are today, where EVs are considered to be cool and not just, the green car, the eco car.
Right.
And so it's a pretty big deal that they've canceled them. For those who
were they more pricey? Was that a price point deal?
I mean, the Model S and the Model X, the counterpart to that is the 3 and the Y.
Right.
So the Model 3 is the 4-door sedan that's cheaper. The Model Y is the 4-door SUV that's cheaper.
Right.
A middle of the road Model 3 will run you about 35 to 40 grand. A middle of the road Model Y will run you about 40, 45 grand.
Right.
Model S and Model X, 100 to 120. And what are you really getting for that? A lot of luxury kind of sort of stuff, but that's about it. And you can get performance models of the 3 and the Y also. They're not as blisteringly fast as the other two, but they're still fast. You don't get the Falcon wing doors with the Y. You don't get the Model S.
I love the Falcon wing doors.
Yeah.
Being a fat guy, I really like that.
Well, also
it's easier to get out.
The front doors too on the X are self-presenting, so they open and shut robotically.
Right.
And that's not something the Y has. But there's a reason they canceled them. Sales were not good. They never once the.
Do you think the price point on it was a heartbreak for a lot of them?
Oh, for sure. That's the only reason, because you're not getting that much over the 3 and Y, and you're spending 2x the money.
What do they have coming out? Surely they have. What's the next gen they're going to break out?
The next gen is something called Optimus, and it's a humanoid robot.
I know that. Is that what they're working on more?
That's the reason they are dedicating the Fremont factory space that produced the X and the S to producing Optimus. They will not be releasing new cars.
Now, Elon says that every home will have a robot in it.
Mine will.
In the near future.
I'm buying one immediately.
Do you remember, you're probably too young when computers came out, and Radio Shack was one of the leaders at the time.
For sure.
And they said every home will have a computer in it. And I remember people going, why do I want a computer? Mm-hmm. I got one of them at work. I don't want to bring it at home.
Yeah.
And look at us now.
Now we're running.
I got how many in one room here?
In here alone, probably a dozen, 2 dozen. It's crazy. The TRS Model 80.
Oh yeah. She was a beauty, old green screen.
Mm-hmm.
So what else is going on in tech we need to know about?
Well, so slightly related to Tesla, and also just generally AI, is the Optimus bot that's replacing the S and the X.
Right.
Those have not gone into production yet. They're going to. And one of the things they had to finish first was the development of the chip that's going to run those bots.
Right.
That is Tesla's 5th gen AI. That's called AI 5. They taped out that chip about a month ago. The term tape out, you may not recognize the term. It comes from back in the day when you would design your sketch for how your microprocessor is going to look like and put it on tape to send that to the manufacturer.
Right.
So AI 5 has been taped out, and it is going to produce about 100 or so. Well, to put it in perspective, what most people understand, it's about 10 times the performance of the current AI4, and they're going to need it to run these bots.
Now, I've seen them running, and the agility that these things have now is incredible. I mean, they can run, they can do cartwheels.
They can dance and move around. They keep them, the ones they have in the public eye right now are kind of slow moving. They, keep them from doing anything wild. And they have specifically said that their production model, they're not showing, because if they show it, China will copy it.
Right.
So they're going to show it later in the year when it's ready for release. So it's very
What's
exciting.
it going to cost? What do I get a robot that'll cut my grass?
They're targeting $30,000, between 25 and 30 grand.
And that sounds expensive.
It sounds expensive, but when you're essentially buying a perpetual servant,
right?
That's not that bad.
What all will it do?
In theory, if it does what they claim it, and that's a whole other topic.
Right.
It will do anything that a human can do, meaning it will have a Grok-powered intelligence that allows it to effectively do whatever task you give it. So, technically, you could make your any old car self-driving if you had that thing driving.
Because it's driving it.
But I think more than likely you'll start to see these things first in fast food joints, in packing, mailing, warehouse jobs, things like that.
So you're going to go in an Amazon warehouse. They call them something else, but you go in an Amazon warehouse and you're going to see hundreds of these things packing boxes.
Yeah, you're going to see them rapidly replace humans in that kind of unskilled labor market first, which is going to be interesting.
Well, back to the Tesla self-driving for just a minute. Do we have any updated data on wrecks and how the computers are doing versus the humans in driving?
I haven't seen numbers in the last couple of months, but the March numbers were it's 7 times safer than a human. So 7 times less accidents per mile driven of self-driving versus human.
I've rode with a few humans, and I would much prefer the Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, much. And some people who rode with me may prefer it.
Unless you're in a parking deck. They still struggle in parking decks, I've noticed.
Well, so do humans.
That's true. I
can't ever find how to get out of the things. Who designed the parking decks? Surely AI could clean that mess up.
It's something. Or just stop using them completely.
Can we get AI to work on our roads, design some of our road issues?
Replace all the politicians with AI first. It would do a better job.
Well, we got to stretch a highway here that they was going to have it fixed in 6 months. We're going on 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
They could have built a friggin' clover leaf by now.
Mm-hmm.
And still you go up there and it ain't done. I've never seen, I don't know how people keep their jobs, really.
That's all corrupt. So this could easily go political. This tech segment can go political fast if we're not careful.
I don't know how the village has not got torches and got something done on this. You know what I mean? Pitchforks and torches.
It makes you wonder why we haven't had a tea party in a while.
Yeah, I mean, good night. How long does it take to fix one little bridge, for the love of Pete? You know what I mean?
There's highway sections like that. There's potholes
and
that
the
wonder.
People in the highway department that have a job there ought to be embarrassed. They ought to get on TV and apologize to everybody.
Same for water, by the way. Water and power, and power is not as bad nowadays, but water, any kind of like general services like that.
Well, I'll say this: the power company, they handle things like an 800-pound gorilla. They usually win.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like any monopoly. But I will say this, they deliver a product, and it's there most of the time.
Have you ever considered, I'm just totally not on our plan, but have you ever considered solar?
For what?
For your house as a backup?
No, I haven't. Well, I have, but I've actually at some points run my ham station off solar stuff.
Have you?
But it just was not cost effective to do the whole thing.
So if I could, so the reason I brought this up, because
would I love to have a solar farm and make Alabama Power pay me to have it? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
So this idea came to me the other day, and I was thinking, okay, what if there's a, event, solar flare, whatever it is that causes infrastructure limitation or outage, right?
Right.
Owning an electric vehicle made me wonder, what would it take to be able to generate infinite fuel, right? If I wanted to, is that possible to do in a reasonable amount of money. And it is. I actually put together just one afternoon just to see how feasible it was. For about $8,000 to $15,000, depending on what you buy,
Right.
you could get enough solar panels that fold up and a solar generator big enough that could fit in my truck bed that could generate about 25 kilowatt hours of energy per day. And so that's a full charge of the truck in 4 days, roughly. So if I'm driving less than 90 miles a day, that's effectively infinite travel mileage,
Right.
which is kind of cool to think about.
Well, I've always wondered why on any electric car it's not covered in solar panels.
Not enough.
Well, I know technically, yes, but to me, any is better than none. You're at least putting something back on the pile.
You are. There's a guy on YouTube who lives down in South America who bought a Model X, and he actually did that. He converted the whole shell of the
Right.
car, hood and roof and everything
Yeah.
to solar. And he uses it to drive because there's almost no charging infrastructure down there.
Right.
And so he uses it to drive around. And it's very, very slow. Very slow. You can only go 20, 30 miles a day.
Well, solar panels, they've come a long way, but they still, we need them to come further.
It's not great.
And the batteries are still the holdup. How's Tesla's salt battery? I mean, I thought they were going to break those babies out before long. Are you familiar with the salt battery?
I know what they are. There's nothing beyond prototypes at the moment. The only thing they've got right now with new battery tech is what the semi truck uses, which is the same cell that the Cybertruck uses. The Tesla Semi was shown off. The production model is finally shown. And it looks like the cells are really, really good. They're not using any breakthrough chemistry, but they're designed to be very long life.
Well, the lithium is the top line right now.
Yes.
But lithium has a problem.
It does.
It's hot.
It's
and
hot.
it burns hot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a limited supply of it.
Yep.
So the idea, and what I had heard, what I'd read on it was the saltwater battery or the salt battery was going to be more comparable to our current acid lead batteries. So it wouldn't be as efficient as the lithium, but it would be more like what we've got now. But you have a unlimited supply because of the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that would be awesome. It kind of makes you think, when you think of technology like that, of, you hear about scientist invents cure for whatever, and then they suddenly wind up dead.
Right.
It's like if somebody invents a battery technology that's truly game changing like that, they're going to end up dead because all these other companies that are invested in lithium and whatever else are not going to let them do it.
But don't you think that Elon is big enough now that if they did it at Tesla, it would be hard to hide that?
Yeah. If they did it, then it would happen. But if some random person figures it out, they're going to get shut down.
Elon is running behind on our moon lander. We need that for Artemis 3.
We do. I don't know.
I know he's got a few things on his plate.
A handful at the moment.
I saw him with Trump in China.
Oh, that was so funny. Did you see his clip?
No, I didn't see it, but I saw him get off the plane.
Oh, it was so funny because they're in this big room with all the big CEOs. You got NVIDIA and Microsoft and all this. And then they're all like shaking hands and doing interviews. And Elon's just sitting over there in the back and like, you can tell his social battery is just dead.
Right.
And he's just sitting back scrolling Twitter. Somebody walks over, asks for a selfie. He does like a funny face and just like right back onto the phone. He's had enough of it.
I would like to meet him.
I would too. I don't know how that would be doable short of bumping into him somewhere.
Do you think he would be friendly?
I think he would be friendly. I think he probably would be very busy.
Yeah.
And also, from what I understand, he has 24/7 armed security.
Oh, sure he does. Sure he does.
You can't really not. So he's made too many enemies.
Well, Stuart, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the update. And more importantly, thank you for getting some of my stuff squared away so my ham radio will work like I want it to.
That's right. You can transmit from anywhere.
That's right. Remote, baby. Remote. I would love to do a segment on it. It would be so limited interest-wise and understanding-wise what we're doing, but it sure is cool.
I'd love to do a segment on and I'd like to learn. We
got to get you. We got to get you into ham radio. I mean, that's the one missing part you need.
You know what? That would be fun. That's a good idea. Let's do a ham 101.
Okay.
Let's do a ham 101. Maybe it would be limited interest, but some folks might learn something.
Well, I've always been very interested about radio waves, RF, radio frequencies, how it goes through the air, how it acts, different frequencies, what acts on it, what doesn't. So it is an interesting topic, and quite frankly, it's made the world a better place. So
anybody can do it.
That's right. That's right. Stuart Brockwell, Surge Technologies, Birmingham, Alabama. Stuart is the titan of tech. Stuart, thanks for taking time to be with us here on Bubba on the Lake.
Absolutely.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kind of just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Spend your mornings with breakfast at Fanny's. Afternoons, you can explore over 100 miles of trails through Russell Forest. And for dinner, how about the Southern farm-to-table flavors at Spring House? Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Illuminate your night fishing adventures with the ultimate in submersible fishing light technology. The Green Monster Fishing Light attracts bait fish and game fish in all water environments. Turn any dock into a vibrant feeding frenzy. Compact, tough, and energy efficient. The Green Monster Fishing Light will provide endless hours of family entertainment and enhanced nighttime visibility for safe docking. No dock, no problem. With our 24-inch portable Green Monster Fishing Light, start landing trophy fish tonight. Visit thegreenmonsterfishinglight.com.
Well, we're back, and I'm joined by my favorite son, Hunter Bussey. Hunter, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm hoping I am your favorite son. I'm your only son.
Well, you know, we don't want to split hairs here, but that is true. And glad that you could join us here in the studio. We're doing a little work getting ready for the big Memorial Day weekend coming up. And you've been down here, and we've been doing some upgrades on our internet service here at home with Stuart, the tech guy, who you heard just a little while ago. But Hunter, I can tell the way that you are walking around. You've got this grin on your face, and you're just about to pop to get on here and talk about something. And I told you, I don't know if we need to talk about this yet or not. But you're about to die to talk about it.
Well, I mean, it was either wait until the embargo's lifted or just go ahead and talk about it. And I figured rip it off like a Band-Aid. Even though it's not my car, if I were you, I'd be more excited about it. But you're just kind of chill.
Go ahead and tell everybody what you're talking about.
Dad is taking the leap of faith and is getting a Model Y, everyone. And it's a work car because the gas prices are so bad and that drive to Jack State is killing him. So he needs a work car, and then his fun car is a Jeep. So, I mean, that's not, it's not too bad.
Well, some diversity in our cars will probably help a little bit.
Yeah.
Look, I've wanted a Tesla. I wanted to play with one. I've played with them. I almost got one time before. So we're just gonna take the dive and see what happens. And we've got a Bice Motors Jeep that I love. It's my fun vehicle, and will continue to be that. And we're just gonna have a little diversity here in our. In our carpool. So, but what's funny about it, I really hadn't planned on getting a car yesterday.
No, you did not.
And Stuart was here, and we were doing some upgrades to our access points, so we can now get 1 gig.
Yeah,
wireless.
Yes, which is much needed.
And also, we wanted a directional antenna to throw signal out over our dock. So you told me you went to the dock, and we have 1 gig on your iPhone down there.
Yes. It's like I'm wired into an Ethernet cable on my phone on the dock. It is ridiculous.
I'm kind of looking forward to getting in the pontoon again and going out and seeing how far I can pick it out, because that signal is smoking down that way. It's a directional antenna on the access point. We've got it mounted outside, and it is absolutely smoking.
I know you talked about doing the podcast from the pontoon. We literally could now, no problem. That's ridiculous.
We could be live.
We could,
yeah.
We could.
We'll see. See how it goes. We'll check it out. But of course, Stuart was here. You heard him in our interview earlier here on the podcast from his company in Birmingham. He does a great job, and he's knowledgeable. We went to eat after we did all this last night, and it's just so funny. He's probably the closest thing to Mr. Spock that I know. Because he knows so much about everything.
Yes.
And he's right. Yeah. And it's fun to talk to him about it. I'm a tech guy, a technoid, but he is a whole nother level. Yeah, I mean, he knows the decimal points. You know?
You're a geek, he's a geek, I'm a geek. So like yesterday was just a geeky day.
Well, what was funny, we did this upgrade and we were testing everything and we just sit down and started having a conversation. And before I knew it, we were on the Tesla app picking cars out. And then it's like, I don't know what happened. And we were having a discussion and I sneezed and I ordered a car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You sneezed. Yeah. What made me laugh was you had this checklist of all the, the access points of all the internet where we had to, what we needed to upgrade, how long it was going to take and everything. And Stuart just was like, boom, boom, boom. All right, we're done. And then
seriously, I thought, because I had one that was a little more complicated dealing with my ham radio. I had to do some port forwarding on one of my new internet ham radios. Yeah. And I was struggling with it. And I thought, well, this is going to take a little time. And he knocked that thing out. I mean, he can type so quick.
Oh, I was about to
type quicker than I can pull up web pages.
He types quicker than autofill on an iPhone. That's actually stupid. I've never seen anyone type that fast in my life. It's crazy. But what made me
we're feeling. I mean, I don't know what happened. Nowhere on the list had we had order a Tesla.
No, and what made me laugh was you had this list. You knew how long it was going to take. Stuart was like doubling down every time you said, oh, this is going to take a minute. And he's like, no, it's not. I got this. Okay, we'll see. And then he knocked it out, a list that you in your mind probably was like, this is going to take 3 or 4 hours, maybe.
Right.
We got it done in an hour and 30 minutes. Maybe. That's being nice.
Well, he's quick because he's young and he's flexible. And he's like 8 foot tall, so he can reach things. Yeah. Like where I have to get something, I have to go get a ladder, and I'm old, and I've got artificial knee. I can't bend and get under things and all that. And he just like slides right in there, like he's changing tires.
It's like a
NASCAR pit crew. And he's done with it. And I'm like, that would have took me an hour to do that. So anyway,
because you have to, whenever, for those that have probably already ordered a Tesla in the past, like you have to pretty much when you order the car, you have to order the charging station the same day for it to basically be here at the same time. Like, even though I think the charging station will be here later this week, the car is going to take 3 weeks according to the.
Well, they said 2 to 3 weeks delivery, and you order everything on the app. That's what's so strange. It's a very different deal than what we're used to when you come to automobiles.
Yeah, it's like Grubhub for cars.
Yeah, I mean, it's but we were just kind of talking about the different colors, and we were on the app, and before I knew it, I was signed up to get one. And then I sneezed and I ordered it.
And I may or may not have been playing the Palpatine for all my Star Wars fans out there, the do it whenever he was trying to contemplate it. But it's just, I'm excited. I'm more excited than I think he is, because I'm such a geek, and just that it's a car, but it's also
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you'll get it passed down to you.
Oh, well, no, I know that's not happening. I'm driving my Bronco to the wheels fall off more than likely.
Well, I know what'll happen is I'll get it and I'll be enjoying it, and Betty will drive it. And then she'll drive it, and then Betty will be driving it all the time. It'll be Betty's
and then you'll
car.
Somehow end up with a Cybertruck. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I really wanted the Cybertruck, and I know a lot of people think they're ugly. I think they're cool looking.
I like the interior. I wish they would do. I think they look good. I just wish it was a little bit smaller, because it looks like a tank. When that thing comes down our driveway, that's already.
Hunter, do you remember I showed you there was a TV show when I was a kid, and it was this big white arc looking thing, and they went through the country after like nuclear war or something.
It was
and
a TV show from the 60s.
Yeah, well, and they were reestablishing society. Yeah, because everything had turned into like pirates.
Yeah,
and it reminds me of that show. What is the name of that show? I showed you the
you showed me and Stuart that like last time he was here.
We did. We looked at it, didn't we?
Yeah, because it was when we went to go pick up the Cybertruck.
What was it called? Something Arc. was the name of that show?
Got me. I don't know.
But I think they had a chimpanzee that could talk too. Didn't they have that, or was that on Lost in Space? Am I mixing?
You're mixing IPs. Yeah, you're mixing sci-fi IPs. But no, I just it made me laugh because yesterday I was, you called me Saturday or Sunday. Hey, I need you to come down and learn this. Help where you can.
Watch what he's
stuff
doing.
like that. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Come back
because you don't know a lot about network architecture.
No, I know how to reset my modem and wait 30 seconds and plug it back in.
Yeah, I mean, but there's more to it than that.
I'm a geek, but I like to call it a soft geek. You know what I mean? Like I'm nerdy
You got your areas.
Yeah, I got my areas, and then you got other ones where it's like, I don't know about that one. But I intended coming down here to learn and watch and help where I could. And then we're sitting down, and the dad's like, hey, what do you think of this Model Y? I'm like, you're not. You're not. And you're like, that's they got it. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I feel like I'm more excited than you. I really am.
Well, here I've learned to temper my excitement over the years because I've seen too many pitfalls happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I will be excited, but it'll ramp up like right at delivery.
Yeah.
But we'll see, and we'll get another podcast out of it. Maybe we can actually do the podcast where we're going this time.
Yeah,
like I wanted to do before.
Well, you had a sore throat and hoarse voice and everything, because I remember that you were looking, you're like, come look at this Model Y, and I'm like, what?
Well, and we were a little distraught on the color. Stuart was telling us he loves the red one.
Yes,
I kind of wanted the gray one, and Betty liked the white one. And since I was having to do a little bit of negotiating with her on this,
you went with white.
We went with white and I'm all right with the white, especially the pearl. It's a pearl white.
Oh, it'll look good.
And so it kind of glistens a little bit.
I'm more of a fan of like darker colors for cars. Like my Broncos
inside I like light colors just because it's so, we live in an area where it's going to be hot 9 months out of the year.
Yeah, you don't want to sit on hot lava when you get in the car with a black seat.
And the Tesla insides are very good about being able to clean. At least that's what everybody said.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out. But so we have a future podcast of Bubba goes to get a Tesla.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. What's
going to be real fun is driving it back from wherever it's delivered, either Atlanta or Pensacola or Chattanooga, I think, too. For some reason, the laws in our state, we got to change this. They can't sell Tesla in our state because of some outdated, archaic law.
From 1937.
Yeah, how ridiculous. We got to fix that. We got service centers here.
Yeah, there's one in Birmingham.
They can't sell the Teslas, and we're just missing out on tax dollars. So we need to fix that. I know we have an election this week, and that's something I'd like to see addressed. You don't hear a lot about it, but I don't think a lot of people know how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a free enterprise guy. If they want to sell cars here, let them sell cars here. I mean, it's all the consumer wins,
Yeah. But in all seriousness, I'm glad you're getting that, because this is like a dream car for you in a way. You know what I mean? And you joke all the time you're in the fourth quarter and all this stuff, and it's like all doom and gloom. When
Hunter, I wish I was joking.
Well, you know what I mean.
Fourth quarter.
Well, you know what I mean.
You got to have fourth quarter mentality. See?
Yeah, and see now you got to look.
What does the football team do?
Fourth quarter. Yes, I know. Hold up their fours. I know. Yeah, I know. We're holding up our fours right now. If you can't see us at home, but the trade parade that you've had out in the driveway for months, there's nowhere to park when you get here. It's like, oh, who's here? Oh no, those are Dad's cars. That you have the hunting car, you have the work car, and then you have a car that we've been working on and we can't seem to get it to work right.
They're all working fine, but we've accumulated some cars over time, and we're going to have to look at what our needs are and what we got room. I mean, you're in the fourth quarter, you don't need a car lot out there.
No, especially with our driveway situation.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of parking space.
Especially when people, when people don't know what they're doing when they come here for the first time, and it's like Six Flags as they describe it going down the driveway. And there's really, if you don't know how to brake and there's really nowhere to go, you're hitting the house. You know what I mean?
Well, our driveway is so steep the LDS don't even come by. You know what I mean? They just skip. They just go to the next house.
And you've resorted to, with the truck, backing up the driveway.
I'm joking. Don't send me a bunch of emails. I ain't going to read them.
Gosh. But yeah.
Delete.
I'm excited. I mean, because if my math is math, then you'll probably get it mid-June, so it'll be a good summer trip to go on to wherever we end up picking it up.
Well, I think when they say 2 to 3 weeks, it's probably going to be shorter than that because they've really been rolling them out lately, and they've streamlined. They've quit production of the X and the S.
Mm-hmm.
And according to Stuart, they're doing that so they can build robots.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm
so
all
for.
for.
How about when the robot starts driving and it'll drive a regular car and it'll be self-driving?
See, I've seen those taxis. Like, I saw a video of those self-driving taxis that, like, I don't know if you saw that, and some of y'all at home have probably seen it that are listening, where they all, for some reason, there was a programming error, and I don't know if you saw this, but they all went into a rural neighborhood in a cul-de-sac and all parked like there was a party, and they're all blinking, and everything.
No, I did not.
And everyone's like, "Where's my taxi?" It's halfway across town in someone's neighborhood out in the suburbs. It's like, but it's not perfect. But the Tesla technology, I think, is the baseline, and everyone else needs to kind of follow that. But
everybody else is playing catch up.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait. I'm happy for you, and it's going to be fun to get to do that. It's a field trip part 2, a Tesla field trip part 2.
I might let you borrow it sometime if you had a hot date or something.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Yeah, awesome. I.e., the Bronco sucks. According to Dad.
No, I didn't say that, but I know that you'll want to take it out for a spin.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
Or let it take you out for a spin.
Whenever I was skeptical about Teslas, and we had Royce Emerson over here who he listened to the podcast. Shout out to Royce Emerson. Whenever he let us drive his Tesla that time, I was like,
"There's a game changer."
I was like, "Oh crap! I just got gatewayed into the world of Tesla. This isn't good. This isn't good." Man.
Well, we'll have fun with it, and there'll certainly be a podcast out of it, I'm sure.
Yes,
as we try to do that. But then I got to thinking, hey, I got to drive out of Atlanta with a self-driving car. So.
Well, hopefully not. I'm hoping it'll be either Chattanooga or.
Well, I like Kennesaw. I thought that was a good trip.
Kennesaw was a great trip. Yeah. I would prefer Kennesaw since we've been there before. That would be my first choice. Second choice, when Stuart said Pensacola, me and you both lit up like Christmas trees.
Well, Gulf Coast.
We haven't been to the beach in a while.
No,
That'd
we
be
haven't.
Nice. That'd be really nice. Ever since we had that place, I'm trying to think. I guess you and Mom decided, hey, let's part ways with this around COVID. I think the place we had at the beach club.
Was it before that? Yeah.
So. Yeah, I feel like we haven't been in forever. I know we visited once.
We need to go. We're overdue a visit for sure. But we got a lot of water out here.
Yeah,
so.
But until then, Bubba on the lake.
Yep. All right, so Hunter, thanks. I know you got places to go. Go ahead and plug away.
Yeah, I'm helping out with a channel called The Barn. For those that follow Auburn, I do a show with Graham McLean called The Barn Social Hour every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Also have my own personal channel. If y'all just want to see me cut up and goof around with friends, that's also an option as well. Just look up my name, Hunter Bussey, and go subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs so I can get some monetization going.
There you go.
We're almost there.
That.
We're almost there.
That.
We're at 720, so we're a brisk 300 away.
Folks, let's get Hunter over that 1,000 mark. We need it. Help Dad out here. Got a Tesla to pay for.
Yeah. Oh man. But I can't wait for the round 2 of the Tesla field trip, because I know a lot of people like that. The documentation of that in the past. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. So, all right, you're doing a good job. Also, while I have you here, last year during football season, we did the tailgate show. Had a lot of fun with that. We're talking about that now, looking at that, and trying to decide if we're going to do that again next year. So, drop us an email. Let us know if you want us to continue doing that. And we had a lot of great guests on last year.
Yeah, we did. We finished the season off strong with Molly, and we're going to try to get some good guests on there, the start of the season, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. I know there's a lot of drama that's been happening with the offseason with the expansion, with quarterbacks gambling, betting against teams that they play for and stuff like that, and people trying to get injunctions for that, being like, hey, I still need my eligibility. No, you bet against your own team, buddy. But
what in the world?
It's just it's going to be interesting, and who doesn't love the primetime pickers? You know what I mean? It's the tailgate show for the tailgaters. Come on.
We had a lot of fun doing it. Hopefully we'll be able to do that again this year. And, of course, always continue Bubba on the Lake. Hunter, thanks, and we will be in touch.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to Bubba. Whoa. Bubba on the Lake.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Want to know what's going on around Lake Martin? Check out the calendar of seasonal events that include Fridays on the Green, naturalist events, fireworks, concerts, poker runs, boat shows, juried art shows, boat parades, and much more. If you're here for the weekend or if you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Illuminate your night fishing adventures with the ultimate in submersible fishing light technology. The Green Monster Fishing Light attracts bait fish and game fish in all water environments. Turn any dock into a vibrant feeding frenzy. Compact, tough, and energy efficient. The Green Monster Fishing Light will provide endless hours of family entertainment and enhanced nighttime visibility for safe docking. No dock, no problem. With our 24-inch portable Green Monster Fishing Light, start landing trophy fish tonight. Visit thegreenmonsterfishinglight.com.
All right, folks, that will do it for this edition. What a great podcast. I mean, we covered a lot of topics there. It is the Memorial Day special. I want to thank Colonel Jason Benefield for being here. I want to thank Stuart Brockwell from Surge Technologies for being here. I appreciate Hunter stepping in. And, you heard it right. It looks like we're headed to Tesla City. So we'll get an update on that in the near future. Thank all of you for joining us. We really appreciate it. I hope you'll follow us on all of our social media outlets. Be sure to check, subscribe, and notifications on all of those, and also on the podcast here itself. Broadcasting from the Mellayella studio, it's the little podcast we call Bubba on the Lake, or AKA the People's Podcast, and we really appreciate everything that you guys have done for us following the podcast. And we have some really exciting shows coming up in the future, and we want to thank you for being a part of it. So until next time, a very special Memorial Day thank you to all those Gold Star families and folks who have laid their life down so that we can enjoy the freedom we have today. And we hope that all of you get to enjoy time with your family and a little R&R over the weekend also. So until we sail into port again, remember God loves you, and so do we. And thank you for being part of Bubba on the Lake.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Russell Lands, Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Dr. Thomas Dudney, and the Green Monster Fishing Light.
B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake. In the mellow yellow studio, putting on a show. Betty say, what? She always on the go. We got Hunter Bus sitting at master control. Don't wanna miss a moment, cause Bubba's got the flow. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey.